What you want? Man, dog, cat, woman?
Do what you want, yeah. Just don't go into space if you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, look, fuck Trump. What's he got to do with it?
I cannot believe this is what it's come down to. The big year 2025. People are arguing over what is a woman, who is a woman. I can't believe this is what it's come to. This is life right now. This is what's being discussed in the courts.
The UK has ruled what a woman is, after For Women Scotland won a legal battle that went all the way to the Supreme Court. It was unanimously decided that the word woman refers to biological sex, meaning women-only spaces must remain female only. The decision sparked emergency protests across the country as trans rights activists say their rights are now under threat. So I went to find out why, but more importantly, what is a woman?
We love women so much we want to be one. You know, you can't say more than that. I don't want to be a man, so I've become trans.
But some people argue about what is a woman, so what is a woman to you guys?
That's a... That is a gotcha question, so...
I'm just curious,
No, I'm not answering that. No,
Okay.
That's a gotcha question. A woman is who she thinks she is, and that's all there is to it, you know.
You know what this reminds me of? When in Genesis, when the serpent displayed the apple to Eve, and the Bible says that she saw that it looked good, you know, and she wanted it. You get what I'm saying? Because of what the eyes saw, you know, she fell in love with it. And the same thing is what this person here is saying. We love women so much that we wanted to be one. It's like, you gotta be very careful with what your eyes see and wanting to be something that your eyes are seeing, you know, because that's the trick of the enemy. And these people, they just don't see it. They don't realize that what they're doing is, all they're doing is just getting, it's like the enemy's just holding this carrot and pulling it along, and these people are just going closer and closer and closer to it, not realizing that lust and these sort of spirits here, it's never ending. Like, you're never gonna get in this, it's never gonna be enough, you know. You're gonna one day look at a dog and see that, yo, this dog, I love this dog so much that I want to be one now. You know, that's why you have some people out there acting like dogs. Literally, there's videos of people crawling and things like that and barking, you know. And this is what I'm saying, like, these people don't realize these sort of things here, these spirits here, they don't play. You know, they'll just slowly lure you into these things, and before you know it, you're starting to, it wasn't just a woman you wanted to be, then now you're starting to look at, it's like when, you know, when people look at porn and things like that, it's like one day they'll be watching normal porn, then the next thing you know, the next advert comes on of some weird porn, then this comes on, then kids are coming, then it's just like, yo, do you get what I'm saying? So it's a never ending thing when you're dealing with these type of spirits, you know. So it's very important that we cut off, you know, as soon as you start noticing these things where you're trying to become something that you've seen, you know what I'm saying, and it's in a way where it's changing your whole persona of who you are and your body and things like that, things that you were born with. You know, you got to be very careful with that, because like in Genesis, when God told them, like, don't go towards this tree and things like that, and the same thing that God's telling them to not do, you know, the serpent came and you know, lured them into doing it. You know, same way as how we are telling these people here that, yo, what you're doing, you know, is wrong in a way. Do you get what I'm saying? You wasn't born like that. If you was born like that, then fair enough. But if that's not what your body's telling you, your body's telling you, you know, when you feel sick, your stomach lets you know that, yo, there's something not right. We've eaten something and I don't like it. We need to go to the toilet and get rid of it. Do you get what I'm saying? Your body's telling you that. When you're not feeling well, your body tells you that. When you're hungry, your body tells you that. When you're thirsty, your body tells you that. So when you're not a woman, your body's gonna tell you that.
Where do you place me in the bathroom? I don't, you know, like, I was born with different characteristics to an average trans woman. Where would you place me?
Yeah.
Are you going to put trans men in women's bathrooms? Is that what they want? It doesn't make any sense to me.
But by law, I think that's what's going to happen now, isn't it? I mean, what do you plan to do?
What do I plan to do? I plan to piss wherever I want, which is the women's bathroom, and I will continue to.
Yeah.
What you do have to worry about though is the perverts. Do you get what I'm saying? If you're trying to use a certain type of bathroom and there's a pervert hanging around in there, you just open yourself to some type of abuse. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just like people like, I don't care what bathroom you want to use, really and truly. Like I remember times when I used to go out clubbing and I'll be out clubbing at night time and, you know, using the bathroom and there's a woman in there, like an actual woman, or be walking out of there because there wasn't no space. What do you call it? The woman's bathroom was full and they ended up using the male's bathroom. So I didn't really think nothing of it. Do you get what I'm saying? So I actually don't care what bathroom you use. It's just the perverts that you got to look out for. That's the main thing. You just open yourself to some type of, you're making yourself available to some type of abuse if there's a weirdo in there. Those are the sort of people you need to worry about.
Well, one argument is that to do with actually women giving birth, and say if they ask for a female doctor, they could have a trans woman doctor. Do you think?
Okay, is the doctor certified? Yes, they are. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. Is your baby going to come out? Yes, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Healthy baby, it's totally fine.
Yeah, I think it's more for the women's like preference, I guess.
I mean, great. If you want to specify and say, I want a cis doctor, then do that. But if you say, I want a woman doctor, if a trans woman comes in, don't act mad.
Yeah, also, like, come on, let's be honest. Like, everyone who has been in the NHS, people in the NHS are absolute heroes. No one is out to get you. You know, trans people make up less than 0.5% of our population.
See, this is what I mean about, you know, places of work, like the hospitals and things like that. Because you've got to, when you realise the type of spirit that's behind this sort of lifestyle, you know, you've got to realise that that sort of spirit does not want, in the Bible where it says God told Adam, you know, go be fruitful and multiply. You know, our God is all about multiplication, you know, it's about adding, you know, childbirths, growing a family and them sort of things there, you know. So this type of spirit, you got to realize, does not want people to be fruitful, does not want multiplication, does not want babies being born. You know, that's why this whole movement ever started in the first place, you know, is to get rid of babies and things like that, you know. Same way how the sacrifices to Moloch, you know, where, you know, babies were being sacrificed to the deity, to Moloch. So that's why now it's like, you've got to, when you now realize that's the type of spirit that's behind these sort of things, these sort of movements. Now, when it comes to a place of work and you have a nurse who's entertaining this type of spirit, and now you're getting that nurse to deliver your baby, what do you think is going to happen? It's really that deep. Like, this is what people are not understanding spiritually. This is what's going on. So, like, the woman here just says, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't even know if she's a man. I think it's a man. But, like, she just said how, you know, as long as the nurse is qualified, then it doesn't matter whether it's a trans or whatever comes and delivers your child or is dealing with your deliverance, with your delivery, with your baby delivery. It's like, yes, to the outside world, you know, to the world, you can clearly see, yeah, we don't care, it doesn't matter. But spiritually, you can see that, hold on, if this person is entertaining this type of spirit in their life, what do you think is going to happen when you allow that person to now, you know, physically be in the same facility as a newborn baby? What do you think is going to transfer spiritually between the person that's entertaining that sort of lifestyle and that spirit with your newborn? Do you get it? So it's crazy when you actually look at that thing, and you can actually see the sort of how the enemy is planting these things, these rules, in a way that is going to affect people, families, once again, because the same way as they did years ago, where they created this welfare system and all of them stuff there to make the mother not need the husband, you know, all of this fathers out of their homes, and you know, and then they've killed the family dynamics, you know, they've killed the whole how a family was supposed to be. And by the time we've realized it, it's years past now, and we're now trying to gather the pieces. You know, this is the same thing that if you look at it right now, how they're doing it, these rules that they're making, if someone like a nurse is now delivering, helping to deliver your child, you know, how is it going to now affect that child spiritually and later on in life? Your child's going to just wake up one day because the spirit has now been around them, you know, it's been transferred. They're going to now wake up one day and have that same feeling. Oh, I just woke up and I didn't like the way my body feels, the way I was born. I think I should have been this. In fact, I'm going to now change it. Do you get what I'm saying? So all these things, everything starts so spiritually before it takes part physically, you know, and we've got to really not be ignorant of the devil's devices, because the Bible does say, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So I'm just trying to show you how deep, I'm trying to give you that knowledge on how deep the enemy's tricks goes. Something simple as, we'll see it has, oh, it's simple, it makes sense, you know, the nurse is available, it's a trans, but you know what, she's qualified, it's cool, she can deliver this baby. But you don't know that that spirit, that nurse is, that energy that she's been around, and that you don't know what she's doing when she gets home. You don't know the type of things that, do you get what I'm saying? So now that's delivering your baby, do you get it? So it's really that deep. And I just feel that we really need to start waking up to the times that we're living in right now. And, you know, boy, it's only gonna get worse, but, you know, just be in Christ, and the Holy Spirit will be able to reveal to you these type of things that I'm sharing, so that we can be careful and be aware of the enemy's devices.
The longer the protest went on, the further I felt from finding out what a woman is.
That's what I was saying. The more you dive, the more you entertain into sort of these people, you're not going to get the truth out of them. Like I said, it's all confusion. So I'm not surprised that he just said the more time he spends with these lot, he's further away from getting to the answer to the question of what a woman is. Because it's all confusion. You're only going to, from when you hang around them, you're just going to dive in deeper and deeper and deeper and get lost. Because you're not going to get the truth out of confusion. Do you get what I'm saying? You wouldn't even be here if your parents didn't, you know, step into that role of, you know, embracing who they were. You know, your father was a man, your mother was a woman. That's the reason why you've ended up even living. Do you get it? So it's like, you acting this sort of way now, you're kind of stopping you know, your child being born and things like that in the right way, I'd say, you know. So it's just, people need to realize that, look, you're here standing right here in front of the camera and waving this flag. The reason why you're able to do that right now is because your parents, you know, lived in their right, you know, played their role as a man and a woman, as a husband and a wife. Do you get what I'm saying? So we just gotta respect that.
So they've said that trans people make up about 1% of the population, but it seems like everyone who's in their community is actually here today. As you can see, it's pretty much filled this part of this park.
They actually came out. One thing I'll say, that a lot of them actually came out to show support and protest. But what I'm gonna say is, imagine this was now. What's funny is, when it's like one preacher out on the street corner, street preaching, you'll have like 5 policemen turn up, right? So imagine if we was all to gather up like this, like the real ones were to gather up like this many of us in this park, the same park, this many of us. It will be war, you know, like they wouldn't even allow us to sit down like this. No way. Like, this is just what I mean. This is the sort of times we're living in, where they'll call evil good and good evil. Like, this is just where we're at right now.
I hate being perceived as a man.
Sure. So how do you make sure that you are a woman and you're not perceived as a man? What makes you the woman that you identify as?
Just the way I present myself. I began my transition in 2021.
Okay.
And I've been presented female ever then, so it was a change in styles mainly. I grew my hair out and things like that.
So does it come to the clothing and style of hair at the end of the day?
That's not all of what makes a woman. A woman can be anything.
Sure.
There are so many different ways you can present yourself, but I don't see how I particularly am portraying myself as a man to the people who may believe in systemic binaries.
So for you, you're doing as much as you can to present yourself as a woman and be a woman, so therefore you are a woman.
Because that makes me feel happy.
So you want to be a woman, so you're a woman, but you can't even do the first thing that a woman put on this earth to do. And you're just hoping that soon there'll be, this option will be available where you can have a baby so easily, and think about the sort of effects and the sort of things, attributes and things that this child is going to be born with already. Like, that is crazy. Why would you even want to do that to a newborn? Put all this confusion into a newborn, and for those who are saying that, oh yeah, they're not trying to have a child anyway, cool, what's the point of being let's not even go there. Let's not even go there.
What makes you not a man if someone was going to argue that?
What makes me not a man is the fact that I'm a trans woman. I have always been a trans woman. It's not something I sort of decided one day that I was going to be. It was something that I came to, I came to understand about myself. It's always been the way that I have been.
Well, why trans before the women? Why not just women?
Because there has to be some delineation. Don't get me wrong. I understand where my biology started.
Okay.
And my gender is not in my biology. My gender is here in my head. It's in my personality. It's in my person. It's immutable. I can't change my gender. That's why I had to transition, because my dysphoria between where my gender is, where it is in my head, and the rest of me was totally different.
But now that you've transitioned, can you give birth?
No, I can't give birth.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
That might be coming. They had the first baby of a transplanted womb recently. Who knows where that's going to take us?
I know exactly where that's going to take you. You, basically, when they start rolling out, they probably already rolled out the chip, but when it starts, these are the first sort of clients, that, they'll gladly take the chip, when it gets rolled out properly. He's already got his clients. These, all of these people that you've seen in the park, they're going to be first in line. They wouldn't think twice to, allow these sort of things to be implanted, whether it be on their hand or on their forehead. So just sort of the fact that, simply for the fact that they can, live how they want to live, be who they want to be. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they've already, the woman, oh man, I don't even know, she just said it took her, it's been a 10 years transition. Do you get it? So if you think about it, she's already put in 10 years worth of work. So now imagine now these chips come out where within instantly you can better yourself, you can become like this within a month. What do you think someone like that spent 10 years trying to make this transition is going to do? They're going to be like, raw, I can do this in a month, I can become this, I can get this, I can alter this. Of course they're going to take that. That's what I'm trying to say. These lot don't, she's just said the word, she just said where I wonder where this is going to take us. Yeah, that's where it's taking you. The thing about these people, they look so happy as well. You just feel for me, when I'm looking at them, I just think, oh, raw, they look like genuinely good people. Do you get it? But they just, the Bible says, when people perish for lack of knowledge. When you don't know something, not even that they don't know, when you allow the enemy to infiltrate and take part and take control of your soul. Like, these are the sort of things that happens. Do you get it? This is the same thing as if someone goes out there and tries to shoot up a school and things like that, you know. And then when they're sitting in jail, they're thinking, wait, why did I just do that? Do you get it? And it was a transition, you know. They could have been sitting there one day. Someone probably did something wrong to them, you know, out of having a bad experience. They ended up searching up certain things that they shouldn't have, listening to certain music repetitively that they shouldn't have, probably watched some scary films, thriller films that they shouldn't have. All of these things influenced them. Maybe, you know, they took part in some sort of, they probably had a bad habit, you know, drug addiction or something that then added fuel to the fire. Do you get what I'm saying? And then before they know it, they're probably looking at things that they shouldn't have, or hanging around people that they shouldn't have, taking advice from people that they shouldn't have. All of these play a major role when it comes to the decision that they ended up making. And then all of a sudden, before they know it, they're sitting in prison. And the part where they ordered a gun, or, you know, went to the kitchen and got a knife, and then went out there and did what they did, just that incident there is skipped, is erased out of their brain. Do you get it? And then by the time they sitting in prison now, or sitting in court, they're thinking, wow, did I just do that? What happened? You know, yes, the transition part that you took part in, which is all of the influences that I mentioned, that they're allowed to influence them, you know, that plays a major role. That's why with these things here, what's playing a major role with them is them going out in the park, hanging out together with like-minded people, you know, that's causing even more confusion. Then it's, the system allowing them to do certain things, which I don't even care, I don't even mind. And, you know, the television, what they might see, the social media, what they might see, all of this is influencing you. Then the part where you're skipping is the spiritual part, because you're lacking the knowledge on that bit. You're not understanding this is what's going on in the spirit. And then the part where, like I said, for the example of the person sitting in prison or in court thinking, what the hell did I just do? It's the part where it's going to be too late for you when you're burning. And that's when you're going to be thinking, raw, what just happened? All I remember is the transition. Do you get it? So that's where, when the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge, the knowledge bit is the part where it's actually happening in the spirit that you have no knowledge of. The devil's tricking you, blinding your eyes. Do you get it? You don't know what's going on. You just think that you're just going to the park and, yeah, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, we're celebrating, this is what we're fighting for. You're not even seeing what's happening in the spirit. That's what you're lacking knowledge on. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what these people, someone needs to tell them, like, this is what's going on. You're lacking the knowledge, so you will burn because of that. You're not going to burn because you wanted to be what you wanted to be. No, you're going to burn because you allowed the enemy to take control of your soul. That's why you're going to burn. Do you get it? So, and that's why I speak like this, because it's all about the soul at the end of the day. I don't care what the human's doing with their body outside, what toilet they want to go to. No, I'm talking to the soul, the person who God created at the very start, because that's something that you've always had from the very start. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's just the message I wanted to. I know that's a long one, but I just get passionate about these things, because it's like, when you're able to see certain things and see things for the way they are from the spiritual perspective, and you just want to save people from burning, eternal burning, it's like you've almost got this burden to just speak and try and teach. Do you get it? So that's just the reason why sometimes I'm rambling for so long. I only press record to speak for like 2 minutes, but I've probably been speaking for the past half hour. But yeah, we've still got about 10 more minutes to go on this video, so let's carry on watching.
So could I become a woman if I felt like becoming one like tomorrow?
No.
But you can become one. Why can't I?
Because this isn't a case of making a decision to be. Sorry, let me clarify that. This isn't a case of anyone making a decision to be.
Yeah.
There are sort of trans women. I put them in sort of like inverted commas who go, no, I'm just a man in a dress. No, they're not trans women. They are men in dresses living their lives as women. Fine. If they want to do that, that's fine. But they are the tiniest minority.
Well, what if I say I'm not a man in a dress and I wear a dress and put on makeup? When does it come a point to say I am a woman?
Well, it's got to be earnestly done. If you did it tomorrow and then decided not to be further down the line, like, it's a good faith or a bad faith thing to do. If you decided it tomorrow, there needs to be a bloody good reason why you were choosing to do that. And I don't mean like a bad faith one or sort of like one that is dangerous or criminal.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't do any of that sort of stuff. I just, like, I had to find myself. And like I said, I did this for me. I didn't do this for any reasons. I just did it for me.
Well, what if I said this conversation between me and you inspired me to become a woman? Would that be enough reason to do so?
There would have to be a very good sort of like feeling for yourself.
In the end, who told you you are a woman in the end? Because, like you said, you have to go through with it and you have to be dedicated to it. So
therapy, and a therapist suggested I try the label.
Okay.
And given that at that point I identified as a transvestite plus, which as far as I was concerned was a transvestite, but it was more than the clothes. When they suggested that to me, it made a lot of sense.
The thing about most of these therapists, they're witches anyway. Do you get it? Like, they're dabbing in all sorts of sorcery behind closed doors, you know. And they're just simply witches. So how could you then go to see a witch to help you decide on what's going on with you, on who you are? Of course, this is what I mean. This is all just confusion. It's layers and layers of confusion. You know, someone and they feel as if they know who they are, but when they're asked all these questions and you hear them speak, you can just clearly see that they either don't want to answer certain questions, they skip them, or they're just babbling. They just don't even know what they're saying. It's not even making sense. Or they're just basically trying to say, look, I don't want to be a man. That's it. And that's just it. And it's just like, hold on, what made you make that decision? Or how do you know who you are? And things like that. So, and then they just go around in circles. So you can just see layers and layers and layers and layers of confusion and lies. And it gives me the type of feeling like these people don't even think that they can just die tomorrow. Like they can just go tomorrow. Like it's as if they've been taught this thing where they will live forever. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And it's a mad position to be in, because that's the position that the devil makes a lot of people feel, is that they're inferior and they can live forever. You can do what you want to do. This is your life. Live it. You know, we're good. You know, if you want to be this tomorrow, that's what you're going to be, and all of that stuff. And it's just crazy to live your life like that, because in 10 years, 20 years time, you might regret it, but you're gonna then have to, if you're still alive, there's so many demons you have to face because of the sort of life that you've lived. And it's crazy because it's like, as the years go on, years upon years upon years, you're just adding on more layers. These demons are just attached to you more and more and more. As everywhere you go, everywhere you turn, they're coming along from the journey. And then there's gonna come a time in your life where you think, you know what's going on? Like, why have I been living under this delusion all these years? I don't want no part of this normal. And then you're gonna have this heavy fight to get these demons off you. So the decision that they're making is very hard for them to get deliverance. That's one. Two, they better be prepared to take it all the way and be willing to burn for it, because that's what's gonna happen. It's either you're gonna burn for it, or you have a very hard battle in your hands. And no, it's a thing where these people are not even going to have a very hard battle because they're never going to stop what they're doing. It's going to be very hard for them to stop what they're doing because part of them deciding to be this or going on this journey is more about themselves. It's not about their family. You know, like for example, someone who's lived their life in a certain type of way, you know, and then later on they're like, nah, I can't be living like this. I need to change for my family. I want a better future for my family, for my daughter, for my sons, you know, for the next generation. So I'm gonna work hard and be a better person, you know. That sort of person will go through battles in life, because a lot of battles when they're trying to change their life, because it's bigger than them. It's about their family and their next generation. But now when you look at these ones here that are choosing this sort of journey, it's more to do with selfish gains. It's about them, how they feel. You know, they don't care about how the next generation, their family, they don't even care about bringing forth the next family. It's more about them. So the devil's already got them under this illusion where it's your life, live it. It's about you. Don't worry about what anyone else says. Don't worry about starting a family. Don't worry about the next generation. Just take care of you. Do you get it? So them sort of people there, the enemies already got them. They already got their soul. Do you get it? Because that was the whole plan from the very beginning, is to stop people from having children and growing families and being successful at it. Like the Bible says, God told us to be fruitful and to multiply. And these people here, it's not about being fruitful and multiplying. It's about bringing a stop, full stop. It ends with them. That's why I'm saying they're just going to burn, because they've signed their soul basically.
Still don't understand how you actually become a woman. He said I can't become a woman, so I don't know who told him he can become a woman. Still don't get it. Apparently you have to like dedicate your life to it. You can't just decide overnight. I don't know if there's like a woman god who summons everyone to become a woman, but yeah, apparently not. Therapist is one argument he mentioned. Yeah, very, very complicated, guys.
You see that right there? It's because she can see already that you can't just become what she's trying to become, because there's a certain thing you have to do, you know? Man said, is there some type of woman god? No, it's a spirit. This is what I've been trying to say this whole video. It's like they're signing their soul away and they know it. That's why they're able to look at this man here and say, you can't just wake up tomorrow and decide to do this journey that I'm on. Like, you know, the sort of things, sacrifices, the sort of things I've had to participate in, the sort of things that I've had to do. Do you get what I'm saying? And along these whole 10 years of transitioning, do you get it? It's not just that, you know, and that's basically, this guy is kind of on something here, but he doesn't even realize that he's on something here. There is definitely a God, and it's Satan himself. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's planted these workers. It could come through, like I said, the doctors. It can come through the therapists. You know what I'm saying? It can come through all these sort of things to influence you. And like, that's why she's able to look at this guy here and just be like, yeah, nah, you're not one of us. You can't be one of us right now. There's certain things that you have to do. You know, it's almost like an occult. It's basically like you're trying to join a gang, you're trying to join an occult, and they can smell that you're just fresh, you're green. Like, they can just know that you're not one of us just yet. There's this certain type of evil smell that you're not giving for you to become one of us. To get it, that's why they can all see each other and just know, oh yeah, that's just what it is, isn't it? So they're saying to him, no, you can't join this occult. You can't just wake up tomorrow and do this. There's a certain type of sacrifice, and that is selling your soul, that you have to do. And I have to be able to just, that's why we, people like me, we can look at these lot and just see there's something weird, something that's not right about them. I'm talking about the ones that are really deep in it, like they're deeply rooted in it and they're participating in some type of evil activities in the background. Because don't get me wrong, there's some who are in this journey, doing this lifestyle, but they're not deeply in it. They're just, trying to find their way, trying to figure their way out of maybe having a bad experience. And they just, as we do, we're just going through life and just trying to find ourselves in a way. And along the journey, they, stopped somewhere. And that's just where they're at right now in their life. That's cool. Do you get what I'm saying? Not that it's cool, but I get it. Do you get what I'm saying? They're just navigating through life. Do you get what I'm saying? And just learning. But then there's those ones who are recruiters and they're really deep. They're out there just doing A&R, they're out there recruiting, and those are the ones, when you look at them, you can clearly see the evil that's in them. Like, you can just, do you get what I'm saying? Like, why do they all look the same? So it's like, I don't even want to get into this, but it's like the popes and them, like, why do they all have this similar look to them? There's just this evil, baby snatching energy that they display. Do you get it? There's something about them, they all look the same. The same thing it's just a cult, isn't it? It's like when you look at a gang, they all try and look, wear similar colours or try and have a similar, slang or something for you to identify which part, who's with what. Same way with these lot as well. When you look at them, you just know, there's something about these lot. Do you get it? So that's why they're able to look at this guy and be like, you can't just wake up tomorrow and be one of us. There's something that you have to do. There's a type of smell that you have to, aroma that you have to give out for me to be able to be like, yeah, you know what, you can.
It seems like you don't see that many trans men. Would you say that?
There's many trans men. I've come across a lot of trans men here. Yeah. I mean, we're not we're all here together. There's a group.
Oh no, this one sounds like a demon. Like, what happened to their voice? They sound like they've got like 3-4 different voices happening all at once. It's crazy. I don't know whether it's my own hearing, but something about this one's voice, it sounds like there's 3-4 voices. This reminds me of the time where in the Bible where it says there's a legion of us, where I think it was Jesus trying to ask them, what is your name? And the demons were like, there's a legion of us, because there was more than one. And this one here sounds like she's got about 3-4 voices happening at one time. I don't know if you lot can hear it, but let me know.
Boys against boys for dolls.
Boys for dolls? Okay.
You, I know. You, I know. Nah, bye.
What?
Bye.
So I know you, and just walks off like that one there sounds like a demon still.
I've seen so many cases in the UK where people have been suspended from their jobs. I know there was a case with the NHS worker who was suspended by calling a trans woman a mister. I mean, how far was it going to go? But now, with these laws, people can have a bit of common sense and just say what they think.
It's very important to just allow these people to do what they're doing. If you're watching me and you're hearing this message, don't even fight with these people. Like, don't try and even show them what's right. Don't try and even minister to them. Like, there's no point. They've already chosen a side, and you've got to leave these people, because they will burn. Like, they're actually going to burn, and it's fine. Like, it's not your problem. It's not that deep for you. You just got to leave these people live their life the way they want to live it. We all make decisions at the end of the day, especially if you're an adult. Don't stress yourself over, I see some people, they're walking past them and they're looking at them in a certain way, or they might come across them in the wrong toilets and try and say something to them. No, like, just leave people to live their life. It's got nothing to do with you. Just allow them to just do what they're doing, because they've already been taken over. If you can see, and if you're able to feel things in the spirit, then you can obviously see what's already happening, what's going on. And this is one of the ways where how Babylon's gonna fall anyway. You can't stop it, you can't avoid it. These sort of things, they're so deep rooted. Like, this is things that's happened. There's things that's happened from many years ago. You know, it's mad to even explain and speak about. Hopefully one day I'll make a video on it about how the kingdom was built and things like that. So you can just see the fruits of it. You know, it's showing. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why you get certain areas and certain people are so deep rooted into what their beliefs are, what they believe. Do you get what they believe is right, to the point where people are fighting over, you know, what sort of toilets they're gonna go into and things like that. Like, that's pathetic. But you just gotta leave these people, you know, live their life the way that they want to live their life. Because at the end of the day, these are the same people that when things start happening that we can't control in certain areas of the UK, including London, these are the same people that are going to be, you know, trying to find God, you know, and hopefully it's not too late for them, you know, and that's, you just got to hope and pray that, you know, that they're going to wake up, because if they don't, they're just going to burn. And that's just how it goes, isn't it? That's the reality of it, is that most of them actually probably have a good heart, but they're just living a life of confusion, you know, whether something's happened to them in their life from a young age, or, you know. And another thing as well is that affects these sort of people is when you're watching porn and things like that, them sort of things play a major part in mentally, spiritually destroying who you actually are, to the point where you don't even know who you are no more. And you've opened the door to these type of spirits, to many spirits to come in and cause a confusion. And, you know, the wages of sin is death. Do you get it? That's why I say that when things happen, these are the first type of people that are going to get burnt. You know, it's going to affect. That's why I don't even worry too much about my life. Do you get it? Because I know that as long as I'm trying to live righteous and I'm trying to spread the word, I'm doing my bit. Do you get it? So I've got nothing to worry about. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I know that even if anything is to happen around where I live, I know that I'll be alright. Do you get what I'm saying? Because of the type of life I'm living. Do you get what I'm saying? The type of choices that I'm deciding to make. And these people, when someone like me will try and minister or try and speak to them, they're not going to listen. It's not necessarily them, but it's the spirit that's embedded in them already. It's living in there. And they need some type of deliverance. But then what doesn't help is most of the churches nowadays, they, you know, come as you are, and, you know, it's all la-di-da-di. They're not really trying to deliver these people. They're just trying to, like, yeah, come, clap your hands, rejoice, Jesus loves you, blah, blah, blah. But these are the type of churches and pastors and preachers who also grew up. It's like the whole system, the way it's just built, is for us to just burn. Because even the pastors and the preachers in these churches, the way that what they've grown up on is mostly focus on the New Testament, forget about the Old Testament type of stuff. Jesus loves everyone. La-di-da-di-da-di-da, let's all celebrate. Not knowing that God's actually a man of war, and he's a man of obedience, and you will burn. And that's just what these churches are not telling these people. I simply just don't care. Like, I would tell you as it is. And you get what I'm saying? Because the type of place that God's taken me from, I really had that sort of experience with him, you know, the real one. So it's not from me reading a book, reading the Bible. It's from me having a real relationship and real experience with him. So that's why the sort of way that I can approach certain situations is going to cut deep, you know. The word will cut through, and you're going to want to change. If you don't want to change, then you're going to know that, yo, if I don't listen to what this man's saying, I'm accepting the fact that I'm just willing to burn. That's what's going to happen. There's going to soon be a time where tables are going to turn, you know. It's mad. Like, most of these people that we're watching now, that are here shouting you know, all for this type of lifestyle. Most of them, their grandfathers, grandparents, they were wealthy. Do you get what I'm saying? They were wealthy and they probably made money, you know, dipped their hands in some evil schemes, and this is just the end product. This is what's happening to their what do you call them? Their children. Do you get what I'm saying? This, and then what these lot are doing, you can only imagine what's gonna happen to their descendants. It's crazy. It's gonna literally be, we're gonna come to a time where it's gonna be their grandchildren, like these people's grandchildren, versus people like myself's grandchildren. A battle of evil versus good. That's what's gonna come down to. So it's very important to choose a side and pick a side and stay there. You know, the Bible does say that God will spit you out if you're lukewarm. So pick a side and stay there and stand firm.
So have you got a problem with me standing here? Just walking around in a public park? I don't think they had anything better to do, or they just thought they were superheroes with these flags. Even when I decide to sit down, they still follow me.
Hello.
You know, that's monitoring spirits, you know. This is a physical example of monitoring spirits. Like, they're literally not saying nothing, they're walking around, following him to see what he's up to, you know. It's like they allow you to see that they're watching you, but they're not saying nothing. It's a form of manipulation because they're trying to, what's the word? Intimidate you in some way by letting you know that there's a presence there, but they're not saying nothing. And that's basically that's one of the forms of a monitoring spirit. You know, you've got some that don't want you to know that they're there, but you've got some that you can feel the presence. You can feel that somebody's watching you and following you around, but they're not saying nothing. Do you get it? And that's basically what these lot are doing, is just following them around, acting all weird, but they're not saying nothing. Look, they're still following them around.
Let me know in the comments, do you think it's normal to just follow someone around the park who you've never met or spoken to? There we go, guys. Let's talk to Jesus. There we go. That might help. Come on. Come on, guys. Let's talk to you. Let's be kind. It's Easter weekend. Oh, I love one, mate. Thank you. These guys have followed me all the way around. It's Easter weekend. People, you know, promoting Christianity, but these guys don't want to listen. Left and right, health and safety. And they even continued to stalk me outside of the park. This is completely normal behaviour.
I'm actually confused. Are you
This is harassment.
No, they just want to follow me around. Yeah, they just can't get enough of me today.
Like, talking to them so nicely.
For past 20 minutes, I'd say.
Let's been harassing and following this guy around.
15, 20 minutes.
It's a form of harassment, but look how the police approach the situation.
I know you say you don't want to talk to cops.
When it's these type of people. Do you get what I'm saying?
Because I'm a bit concerned, thinking, what's going on? Why this guy's of interest to you? Oh, no, that's fine. Let me do the favour as well. That's fine. It's 3319.
Not saying nothing. Then he's filming the police now. He's filming the police. He's in their faces, bringing the phone right in their face. They're not saying nothing.
You can take your pictures. I'm taking video as well. So
taking the pictures,
holding
a sign up.
So yeah, I'm trying to work out what's going on
in front of the police's face that we don't talk to.
Why are they following you?
And the police comes and talks to them.
I was just asking questions today, and then they just randomly came up to me and
question.
I don't know why. Maybe they got something against me. They just want to follow me about. Yeah.
I bet you're just gonna let him go anyway. But when it's us now, we don't put out a sign saying we don't talk to you. We just literally don't want to talk to you. You can tell by our energy. But yeah, we'll get harassed by the police. They'll ask you, why do you want to talk to us? Oh, you must be hiding something then. Oh, you know what? Come in the van, come in the police, we're going to take you to the station, possibly do a strip search. Do you get what I'm saying? But in these lot, I bet you any money the police is going to let them go, even though they've been harassing and following this gentleman around. Let's see.
But you haven't done anything to them?
I haven't. Yeah, I don't know who they are.
Offensive.
No, and I got it all on camera, so yeah. I mean, have I done anything wrong to you guys? No? Okay.
By this point, I believe you can walk on.
And that's it. It's like moral is going out of the window, and the more they accept these type of things, just know that they're opening the doors, they're opening the floodgates, and there's gonna come a day where God's just gonna be like, yeah, I think it's time for London to burn, because you're not getting it. You know, you're attacking the Christians. And I'm not saying Christians has the religion. I don't care about religion. To be honest, I don't care about any religion. I don't care about Christianity. I don't care about Muslims. I don't care about, like, whatever it is, anything to do with religion, I don't care. I'm a man of the Bible. I'm the man of the Holy Spirit. I'm the man of Yahweh. You know, only one God, and that's it. When it comes to all these religions, I don't care. And because of all these religions, these things that's happening, there's going to come a time where things are going to start burning, you know, and it's best that we just get right with God, you know, be in your scriptures, be in your Bible, build your relationship with the Almighty, and, you know, diligently seek His face and seek Him, because what's coming up, because of what's been going on, it's going to be like hell on earth. And it's just important that I teach the right things, I spread the right message, so that people could prepare, you know, for what's to come. Do you know what I'm saying? So, my name's Forever Blessed Chris, and this has been Chris Speaks. If this video has enlightened you in any way, or if you like to see more videos like this, if you feel like I should shoot more videos like this, you know, post more videos like this, then let me know in the comments, or press the like button, make sure to share it, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless you. I love you. Just remember that Yeshua loves you even more, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless you.